I thought City didn't play that well today, said Harry Klein. Well, weirdly, and I don't know if this is mind games or not, but Guardiola seemed to think that they played better in the first half than they did in the second half. I don't know if I agree or not. But look, one thing I'll say about that game, Harry, is we need to box in Phil Foden. We need to make sure that we keep him quiet because he's the player in form for Manchester City. And I think he's an incredibly gifted footballer. I don't like the dude. He's very easy to not like, but he is an incredibly gifted talent. And I tell you what, if I was an English fan for the Euros, you'd be looking forward to it with the talent that Southgate has at his disposal. But if we keep him quiet, I think we'll be alright. Haaland, well, I guess you've seen both sides of Haaland today, right? You've seen a miss that can only be described as a stunning miss. But then you see his moment at the end as well where he got his goal. Thank God we didn't get Sofian Amrabat, by the way. Can we all agree on that? Because he has been a whole big bundle of awful at Manchester United. Full throttle football on Sunday or more tactical, said Team Shark Meg. Again, I'd love to get people's opinion in the chat, but for me, it never works out well if you're too respectful of Man City. Look at United today as another example. For me, if you want to get at Man City, you have to go full throttle. It has to be chaos. It has to be 100 miles an hour in their faces, or else you're inviting pressure. They are one of the best, if not the best team I've seen at keeping possession, making you tired, dragging you around the pitch and creating overloads. We need to make sure that we keep the ball as much as possible, that we win every second ball, because that's one thing I wasn't happy about yesterday, is the lack of second ball winning. I think we weren't fighting enough at times. Maybe understandable because of the amount of players we've got injured and the amount of changes we've made, but we are going to have to be at it from moment one when the game kicks off next weekend. I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited but also nervous. Craig, if we get Salah to get 30, 45 minutes and Darwin and Szoboszlai back, what do you think the score would be in the City game? It's impossible to guess. Honestly, I don't even know where to start. These games have gone from 0-0 affairs to 4-1, 4-2, high-flying, end-to-end games. If you push me for an answer now, 2-2. But I think we can win it. I don't think we lose it unless something mad happens, like a red card or something like that. But with Salah coming off the bench, I think 2-2 is probably where I'm at this moment in time. Although I'm hoping for some more positive news around the likes of Ryan Gravenberch. The appointment of the officials are going to be important as well. City are nowhere near the level they've been at, said Lukey Boy. I agree. But then again, I have been saying that since third or fourth week of the season. They just don't look the same animal to me. And look, you can point to the comeback today. I think that was the first time Manchester United have conceded a defeat from a winning position at half-time in 9 years, I think they said on Sky. So, fair play for City for turning it round. But for me, I just thought United invited it. They capitulated. And once it got to 1-1, there was only ever going to be one winner there. So, look, and I don't want to take away from Manchester City today. Full credit to those players on the pitch. They turned it around, got a job done, and it'll fill them full of confidence going into next week. But let's be honest about another thing. On the face of it, before the game, United were 10-1 with the bookies to win that game. 10-1 in a Manchester derby. So that tells you the result is what we expected. And Foden had an incredible game. He is a really good footballer. And if I can't admit that, what's the point of me sitting here? Ultimately, we watch football for the great players. And he has learned, obviously, a lot from David Silva and the coaching of Guardiola. And he truly is just a wonderful footballer. He is. So we need to shut him up next week, from a footballing perspective, I mean. Do you think we should rest Darwin and Szoboszlai for Thursday's game? Oh, it's a tough one, John, isn't it? I was only starting to think about this earlier on. Sparta were in a derby today. A top-of-the-table derby against Slavia Prague. So I'm sure that will have taken a lot of effort out of them as well. It is a very difficult decision for Klopp to make for this game. Because, think of it this way, we've got them away from home on Thursday. Then Manchester City. Then we've got the home game against Sparta, followed by Manchester United in the FA Cup before the international break. Team selections are going to be difficult. And Sparta are no mugs. So I don't think I'd start Darwin. Probably would start Soboslai. But yeah, I don't know. Again, it's just another huge headache for Kloppo ahead of a massive week. Is it just me that feels we'll turn over City 3-0? Said Keane. I love that, Keane. I wish I was that optimistic, mate. With our full team, if we had Trent back, Salah had been back a little bit, and we had a full team to pick from, absolutely, I think we rip City apart. But at this moment, it's almost a case of let's wait and see the day before who's available. But yeah, I think if we were at our strongest, yeah, I think we could do a number on them. Guardiola seems to crap his pants at Anfield. Do you think he does something unusual again? I don't know. I've no idea what to expect next Sunday. I don't know. Because they have this weird, I don't want to say bromance, but Klopp and Pep have this obviously mutual respect for each other. I don't know what happens next week, but I know it's going to play a big part in what happens for the remainder of the season. What I feel we need at City game is another loud Anfield. The players ready to fight all the way like they did against Forest, but play much better in general. What I think we need against Manchester City is a fast start. We haven't got 45 minutes to tease our way into the game. Like, we all knew yesterday that the plan there was to win it late at Forest. Now, not as late as we won it, but if you look at the starting 11, it felt like the plan was to stay in the game and try to win it from the bench in the second half. And I guess we did that. But we can't afford to do that against City. We need to, in my opinion, score 2 early and really put it to them. And then don't go back into our shell. Don't retreat. Don't sit deep. Be brave. Easier said than done. But that's how we beat City. Make it manic. Make it chaos. And use every advantage we can. The crowd, the dark arts, and every other way. It's so big. And I hate them so much. Like, I hate them so much that I really want this done. I can cope losing a league title to Arsenal as much as it will hurt. But my God, if I have to listen to the pundits talk about 4 in a row from City, I think I'm going to throw up.